So in today's video, we will see IMM5768E, which is a financial evaluation for parents and grandparents sponsorship. And get this document. This is the link to the application to sponsor parents and grandparents. And when you come down here, you have this income requirement for sponsor of parents and grandparents. You can look at this link for the assess your income, and you find this form here, financial evaluation for parents and grandparents sponsorship IMM5768. So like always, right click, save as, and then download this link on your desktop or laptop. Once you download this form, you will be able to open this form by clicking open with Adobe Acrobat Reader. In case you don't have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed, this is the link. You can go and download this and use the free version to get your form filled. So there are 4 pages here, and let's start with the application. This has to be type or print in blank ink. So we will be doing typing on the PDF once the Acrobat Reader has been downloaded. In case you want to do handwritten, then you have to take a print up and then fill. Better is to fill online and make any correction which is required. Is your spouse or common law partner co-signing the undertaking? So in our case, it is yes. The co-signer is spouse, so selection is yes. In case you don't have a co-signer, then the selection will be no. Then full name of your spouse or common law partner. This is in case you are married. This detail will come. Spouse's family name, given name. Make sure you're not making any error here, and then the date of birth. So once that is done, this is the sponsored detail. That is family name. I have entered wrong, so don't make mistake like mine. So family name and given name. So once that entry is made, come down, and here this can be a little confusing section. So I'll try to explain this as generic as possible. Your family members and person included in undertaking in effect or not yet in effect signed by you, and if applicable, your co-signer. So you, this is one, that is the sponsor. Current undertaking is number of person included in box 3 of generic application form for Canada IM000. So when you are filling the parents and grandparent application, I will show you this is the IMM008, and if you check online what you have filled, this section, how many family members including you are in this application. So in case the person who has been invited, the primary applicant, is coming along with the dependent, what is the number of people who would be coming? You would have mentioned that. So that is the number which will get mentioned. If it is one individual, it will be mentioned as 1. If it is 2, if it is 3. So make sure to enter exactly how many people. Okay, so this is the current undertaking. The sponsor is undertaking for these many people. So I hope this makes it clear. Previous undertaking, here all the responses are 0. So there was no previous undertaking which was taken. In your case, you had any previous undertaking, go through this and fill the number accordingly. And as you keep filling, right, you see this total number of person for the purpose of determining your minimum necessary income. Here, this will keep changing. So we will get to that. Then the next part is complete this section only if your spouse or common law partner is co-signing the undertaking. So if you don't have a co-signer, then you don't have to fill this part, the section 4. And if you have your spouse or the co-signer, in case he or she has taken any undertaking, that detail will get filled. So you can go through each one. In case you have any question or doubt, use the comment section, and I will direct you to the resource to find more. So here, in our case, the response is all nil. Then 5, your spouse or common law partner, if not included in 3 above. So this 3 was the principal applicant where parent or grandparent and their dependent was mentioned. So since in this case, the spouse of the sponsor is not mentioned here in the current undertaking, this number comes here, 1. And every other family member not included above and dependent on you financially. So for example, we have a child, so that child has been accounted here. In case you have 2, then you make a mention of 2 child, and in case you have more, then accordingly put that number. So as you keep adding these details, right? Here it will show the financial requirement total, that is 4 headcount. For example, in this case, the sponsor's co-signer, child, and only one primary applicant who is coming makes it total of 4. So I hope this makes it clear for you. In your case, whatever the number is, that should reflect as a total. So once that is done, come down. Here, sponsor's statement of consent. So this is the place where you have to give a consent for whatever financial validation has to be done with CRA. For that, you are signing. If you look at this box, here you will not be able to type. So once the entire 4-page application is filled, you take a printout and then you do a signature manually, and then you will have to again create a PDF and upload the document where it is asked for. So in case your scanner has the ability to get all the documents which are scanning as one single PDF, well and good. If not, I will make a video and the link will be there in the description. You can see how easily you can create a PDF by just getting the image, what you are getting as a scan, to a Word document or a PowerPoint presentation, and then saving as PDF, and you will be able to resize according to what IRCC has asked for. Let's come down to details of your family member and persons including in undertaking in effect or not yet in effect, signed by you, and if applicable, your co-signer. So here, let's go one by one. You see here family name, given name, and date of birth. That's how the entry has to be made. Persons included in previous undertaking you signed as a sponsor and that are still in effect. If you have sponsored anyone, that name has to come here. In my case, it is not applicable, so I have written not applicable. Person included in previous undertaking you signed as a sponsor and that are not in effect. Again, in my case, it is not applicable. I have not sponsored anyone before, so not applicable. Person included in previous undertaking you co-signed and that are still in effect. So in case you have co-signed for someone to be sponsored, then that entry comes here. In my case, again, not applicable. Person included in previous undertaking you co-signed and that are not yet in effect. Again, in my case, not applicable. Let's come down. Complete this section only if your spouse or common law partner is co-signing the undertaking. So in case you are not having any co-signing person, then you leave this part. So here in this case, again, same question is getting repeated for the co-signing undertaking, and my response here has been not applicable in all these cases. You can read at your own time. We are on page 3. Your spouse or common law partner, if they are not co-signing the undertaking, here in this example, the spouse is co-signing, so this is left blank. If the spouse is not co-signing, then name of the spouse will come here. Okay, so spouse or partner. Then every other family member not listed above and dependent on you financially, whether they are living with you or not. So anyone who is dependent and not mentioned in the above part, you have to list the name here. In our case, there is no one, so left it blank. And then comes your current situation. So here, give details of your current situation and indicate how you support yourself. If you need additional space, provide details on a separate sheet of paper. So you can attach separate sheet of paper if you want to explain your circumstances. And that's why I said if you're creating a new PDF, you can have these things attached and make it into one single PDF. So here the sponsor is employed and you are working for an employer and are paid a salary, wages or commission for your service. If it is self-employed, you have your own business, practice a trade or a profession and conduct activities for profit. So you have to select between one of these and provide your employment history as well as period of unemployment for the last 3 consecutive taxation year preceding your application. Please ensure that you do not leave any gap. So they've asked for the last 3 consecutive taxation year. What I have shown here is last almost 4 years. You see here, I have broken down each one into a tax year. So here you see 1st January to 31st December 2020, 21, 22, 23 and then till present. And make sure you're not leaving any gap between the dates and this format has to be correct. Okay, so just observe what is given here and make entry the way it is shown here. And if you see here, there is no gap between any date. So that is first thing what you need to keep in mind. So here for the sponsor, their their employment name, address, phone number, and what the gross income for that period was. And here in this example, the sponsor, they were couple, you see here, till 2021 and 2022. There was an addition in family, that is child. So the head count increases to 3. So whatever your case is, you have to show that. If you have been unemployed for any duration within the asking, make sure you write unemployed and then date range when you are unemployed. So in that case, if you want to distribute a particular year where you are working and where you are not working, you can define those dates when you are working, the same format from to, and then when you are not employed, that you can show. And you can also write something like this. I'm just giving an example, but you are the best judge to explain your circumstances, and you can add detail when you check unemployed. Okay. So if that be the case, one of these will be checked. And if it is self-employed, then you can enter in employer name, your business name, and your address, phone number, and the gross income, you will get it from your tax slip. So make sure you make those entries so that it is representing the true gross period. Now, once we come down, you see here your spouse's common law partner's current situation. It is the repeat of what's given on the above table, but this time for the spouse or common law partner. So you enter the detail exactly the way I had shown. You check your consent form here. So even the spouse here says, yes, you can go and check. Then the SIN number. And as I said, once the printout is taken, the spouse signature will come here and date has been entered here. Then spouse detail, the employment history, that is co-signers, that is also given here. So once this is done, your check, recheck, cross-check, and make sure all the entries what you have made are correct and truly reflecting your current circumstances. And then you take a printout, sign here on page 4, sign here on page 2. And once the signature is done, as I said, make it into one single PDF and upload the document.